Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about getting in your head and being able to get out of your head. As funny as it sounds, I guess I was trying to think of like ways to explain it, and it sounds funny. Like we're always in our head, we think, that's how we think, you kind of talk to yourself. The problem comes when you begin to mind read and you begin assuming things instead of trying to communicate and figure it out. I used to have the issue of if someone didn't answer the phone, that meant they didn't like me. If someone was having a bad day and they took their anger out towards me, I would feel like it was me and not the other person. I started working on that maybe I think in 2017 when I went to Strong Hope. And honestly, since I've been working on that issue, because I'm not going to lie, I still have that issue sometimes. I had an episode last night where I was getting in my head and I was thinking negatively about myself for no reason. So what I've been doing and what has helped with that is communication. For example, I think my latest argument with somebody, not argument, my latest conversation where I could have gotten in my head was a few months ago, and it was with one of my supervisors. Right after work, he told me, we have to talk tomorrow. So I was like, okay. And this was right as I was leaving for the day. And driving home, I could feel myself begin to start shaking. I started kind of having like an anxiety attack, but not a full-blown one. But I kind of like felt it coming because I'm like, what does he want to talk to me about? Why not tell me right then and there? Why not send me a text? I was just going nuts on my drive home. And from where I used to work to my house, it was a 20-minute drive. So within like 5-10 minutes, I convinced myself, why don't you just call him and ask? And this is because I've been working on using my voice. Excuse me. So I pulled myself together and I called him. And I told him, I was like, look, I know it's after hours. However, I would at least like to know what you need to talk to me about tomorrow. And you know what? He said it's because of A, B, and C. And A, B, and C were not even bad things. It was just to go over work. And I was like, okay. And I hung up the phone on him. I said, thank you, sorry for bothering you. And I hung up the phone with him. So it got me thinking. Normally, the old me would have gone home, had a bad rest of my day, and I would have gone to sleep. My head would have been spinning. I would have woken up in a bad mood because I know how I am, and that's how it used to be with me. If I felt like someone had an issue with me, or if they had something negative to say to me, if I felt it, it doesn't necessarily mean it was true. If I felt some kind of way, I would keep it to myself. I would bottle it up. I would internalize it. And it would just ruin my entire night. It's funny because I remember my husband telling me, it's okay. Who cares what they think? And I understand that he was trying to like help me. But I hadn't told him that this was me. This was my brain thinking these things. It was my brain assuming that people didn't like me. It was my brain assuming that people were against me. When I feel that something is wrong, my brain automatically goes to, this person hates me, this person wants to ruin me, this person wants to end me. And in my brain, I make this huge deal and I internalize it. I don't say anything. But these past few years, me being more open about what's happened to me, me being able to use my voice, it's helped me not necessarily keep my sanity, because I'm not trying to fool anyone. I am not, I guess, I don't want to say I'm not okay, because I've learned to deal with my issues, but I'm still not at a point where my issues don't catch up to me. They're still there. The only difference is I've learned to deal with it. So when I have my dark moments, it takes a minute, but eventually I'm able to pull myself out. When in the past, instead of pulling myself out, I would just internalize everything. And that gets you nowhere. Internalizing your issues gets you nowhere. It sinks you deeper into your head, and you're just not letting the world know, but it's there, it's happening. So last night, I was getting into my head, and I was thinking so many negative things about myself, and not even negative things about myself, but thinking that I'm not worth, I guess, the trouble to speak to, the trouble, nothing, that I wasn't worth it. And like I said, I went to bed like at 1, 2 in the morning, and I woke up, and then I just realized that there was no reason for me to even go through that. No one gave me a reason. No one said anything. It was just something so little just ticked, and I went off in my little land. So this morning I was able to reflect on what I did, on what I was thinking about myself. And I just thought it was really important to talk about, because I know I'm not the only one that goes through this. It's so frustrating. And I mean, like I say in every video, I feel like everybody needs to talk about this, because the more we talk about it, the easier it is to help each other. And I'm all about helping each other. If I can help you guys, you know, that's one more thing that I can write in my, you know, little notebook. I don't have a notebook, but it's one more thing I can add to my I did it list. And the thing that I like as well is that I'm helping myself by talking about this. So maybe next time, if I'm getting into my head, all I got to do is play the video, and just, I can hear myself tell myself, calm down. There's no reason for you to think this way. If you think that you're getting on somebody's nerves, ask them. Or maybe just, I don't know. It's hard to explain, because not everybody's gonna like you. Not everybody's gonna like me. I don't think, you know, everybody likes my videos, and so be it. You know, it's hard. With my son, you know, my son is 5. And sometimes, you know, kids don't want to play with him, but he doesn't want to play with other kids either. So it's hard to tell my son he has to play with kids. So what I tell him is, baby, not everybody's going to like you, and that's okay. It's okay if someone doesn't like you. You don't have to change for them. They don't have to change for you. And I'm talking about like attitude. I guess some personalities just don't click, and that's okay. If there's that one person that you feel they think you're annoying, and maybe it would be annoying for you to ask him, hey, do you think I'm annoying? So maybe you don't want to ask that. But you have 2 choices. You either communicate with them. Hey, I kind of felt like this vibe. You know, is there something I said that might have bothered you? Or if you just want to let it go, then let it go. Not everybody's going to like you. That's okay. Just move on. You know, as long as you're good mentally. And that's another thing that I've been working with myself. You know, after I go down, my hole and I'm thinking everybody hates me, everybody's against me, I'm like, you know what? They really didn't hurt me. I'm still alive. I'm still kicking. I'm still going to work. I'm still doing my job. So at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter if they like me or not. So why would I go through the trouble of getting into my head for nothing? Because it's emotionally exhausting having to take yourself out of your head. Emotionally exhausting. And I know, because I've been through this. I've oh my God, I've cried so much thinking people don't like me. Thinking my personality is maybe horrible and annoying, but I've grown from that. And I've realized not everybody's gonna like me. And I've realized, you know what? As long as I'm doing the right thing, as long as I'm a good person, then that's all that matters. All that matters is I continue helping those who need help. I continue guiding and mentoring. And at the end of the day, if they don't like me, they don't like me. That doesn't stop me from who I am. And I don't think it should stop you. So if you're going through that phase or that moment, or you haven't figured it quite out yet, you'll get there. Like I said, I've been trying to deal with getting out of my head for years. I didn't start really trying to get better at that until the past few years, 3 years ago. But I'm at a point right now where where I get into my head and I get into my feelings, and then by the next day, or maybe if it's in the morning, by the end of the day, or by the afternoon, I'm like, okay, why am I feeling this way? Does this person's opinion really matter? And if it doesn't, why am I even giving them the time of day? Why am I going to put myself in a little hole thinking that I'm this, I'm that, while they're out living their life like nothing? Because they have no idea. People have no idea. If they could care less about you, they're out there living their life, and you are sitting here thinking why they don't like you. So like I said, you can either say something respectfully, because if all of this is in your head, they're going to look at you like you're crazy. They're going to be like, what are you talking about? I've never given you the impression that I don't like you. But then, well, now you've given them a reason to look at you funny. But you'll either feel good for communicating, or you're going to feel good for letting it go. And sometimes letting it go when it's people who don't matter, or it's the easiest way, and it begins to feel good because you make a pattern out of it. You make a pattern out of choosing what you want to care about. And then you have more time to care about the important things. And not necessarily saying that your feelings aren't important, but sometimes other people aren't worth the time of day. They're not worth your sanity. And I've been getting really good at that. At not giving other people who aren't a big part of my life the time of day in my head, because my sanity is more important. And when I do have my dark moments, when I do go into my little hole, I bring myself right back out, and I remind myself, okay, does this person matter? Yes or no? No. Okay. Then why are you giving that person the time of day? Or if that person does matter, okay, what can I tell this person that'll make this person help me understand their demeanor towards me? Because once you understand that, because sometimes you're going to be right. Sometimes you're going to think somebody doesn't like you, and you're going to get the straight up answer saying, no, I don't like you. And that's okay, because guess what? When they tell you they don't like you, oh, okay, my bad. You get to walk away and live your life. Continue to do your job. And you have your answer. You don't have to deal with them. You're not going to be rude, because I'm telling you, once you start being rude and once you start being petty, you're giving them the time of day. You're giving them room in your head. And if you have time for that, good. If you don't, then don't even let them through that door. So, I hope this helps. I know I'm like extremely vague. I obviously don't want to bring my current personal issues to the table. But as long as you got the gist of it, which is get out of your head if you don't got to be in there, then I guess I'm okay with that. So, see y'all later. Bye.